In a world where the mightiest powers champion the ideals of liberty and enlightenment, could conquest ever indeed be seen as a gift? The 18th century's concluding years were a bubbling pot of desires, filled with dreams of global dominance. Europe's giants, revolutionary France, and the enduring British Empire, seemed destined to clash. From this turbulent maelstrom emerged a figure whose ambition knew no bounds, General Napoleon Bonaparte. Gazing across the vast expanse of the English Channel, Napoleon imagined French flags fluttering over the British Isles. But the resilient British Navy, guardians of the tumultuous seas, stood as a formidable barrier. And Napoleon, the brilliant strategist, recognized the weight of this challenge. Unable to pierce Britain's heart directly, Napoleon, with his intricate web of strategies, sought another pathway to weaken his adversary. His eyes settled upon the vast, sandy stretches and ancient grandeur of Egypt. But this wasn't just about the allure of the pyramids or the enigma of the Sphinx. Egypt was a strategic linchpin, the key to controlling the eastern Mediterranean and, by extension, a gateway to Britain's crown jewel, India. However, Napoleon's ambitions were even grander and more multifaceted than mere territorial conquest. He envisioned establishing a formidable French presence in the Middle East, creating a bridgehead for further expansions and alliances. Central to this vision was a potential alliance with Tipu Sultan, the formidable Sultan of Mysore. Known for his unwavering resistance against the British, Tipu was seen by Napoleon as a natural ally in the East. By joining forces, they could mount a two-pronged challenge to British dominion, one from Egypt and the other from the heart of India. In this grand chessboard of geopolitics, Egypt was the critical square Napoleon needed to control to set his pieces in motion. With grand visions, Napoleon marshaled an expedition unlike any other. This was not to be a conventional military campaign led by battle-hardened soldiers and guided by the blunt instruments of war. Instead, he assembled a diverse array of France's brightest and most innovative minds, scholars, scientists, engineers, artists, and linguists. This was an expedition steeped in ideals, where the sword would walk hand in hand with the pen, and the cannon would be complemented by the compass. Along with his elite soldiers, he gathered this coterie to embark on a journey of enlightenment, a mission transcending mere conquest. It was to be a fusion of cultures, an exploration of science, art, and history. They sought to intertwine the revolutionary spirit of France, the enlightened torchbearer of the West, with the timeless wonders of the pharaohs, a civilization that had already pondered the great questions of existence millennia ago. In the heart of Egypt, under the eternal gaze of the pyramids, this mission aimed to cultivate understanding, uncover ancient secrets, and forge a new path of intellectual discovery. Soldiers would not only wield muskets but would study hieroglyphics, scholars would not only observe but actively engage with the landscape. This was Napoleon's dream, a grand tapestry where the rigors of military discipline would be enriched by the nuance of scholarly inquiry. The blending of these worlds was an ambitious undertaking that would echo across the centuries, foreshadowing the complex interplay between conquerors and culture that would characterize later colonial endeavors. As the French forces descended upon Egypt's shores, they soon faced the legendary Mamluks at the Battle of the Pyramids. With strategic brilliance, Napoleon's formations left the Mamluk cavalry in disarray, securing a decisive victory. But this triumph, under the silent gaze of ancient pyramids, was just the beginning. But then, in the waters of Aboukir Bay, destiny delivered a cruel blow. The British Lion, led by the formidable Admiral Nelson, roared with fury, decimating the French fleet. This naval catastrophe isolated Napoleon's army, stranding them in a land both foreign and unforgiving. Pushing forth, the French forces laid siege to the coastal fortress of Acre. For 2 long months, they attempted to breach its walls. But the combined might of the British and the Ottomans, coupled with a deadly outbreak of the plague, halted the French juggernaut. Meanwhile, deep in the alleyways of Cairo, murmurs of discontent grew. The populace, initially curious and even welcoming, began to chafe under French rule. A revolt ignited the streets, and while it was eventually suppressed, it was a stark reminder of the complexities of imposing foreign ideals on ancient cultures. Amidst the heat of battle, as gunpowder smoke swirled and the clash of steel reverberated, another, more silent narrative was unfolding. It was a narrative that would have lasting repercussions, extending far beyond the shifting sands of Egypt and resonating through the corridors of time. One such profound moment was the discovery of the Rosetta Stone, a slab inscribed with scripts that would hold the key to deciphering ancient hieroglyphics. As it emerged from the Egyptian sands, it became more than just a relic, it was an emblem. An emblem of the campaign's duality, where the might of military conquest intersected with the thirst for knowledge and understanding. This stone encapsulated the essence of the French expedition, a powerful force seeking to both control and comprehend the world around it. Yet, this paradigm was not unique to Napoleon's Egyptian campaign. The legacy being forged on the banks of the Nile reflected a broader pattern, a dance of dominance and discovery that would characterize European colonial endeavors for generations. This dance was delicate and intricate, a tightrope walk. On one side lay the raw, unbridled ambition of empire, the hunger for territory, resources, and power. On the other, there was a genuine desire to explore, understand, and elevate, to bring the light of European enlightenment to corners of the globe deemed to be in shadow. However, this tightrope was fraught with perils, and the line between enlightenment and exploitation was perilously thin. As European powers expanded their horizons, the template being set in Egypt would become evident across continents. The question then arose, could one truly bring enlightenment without subjugation? Could knowledge be shared without erasing the wisdom of the lands being discovered? These questions, seated in the sands of Egypt, would challenge and haunt the colonial world for centuries to come. As the ceaseless Egyptian sun traced its arcs across the sky, each day brought more than just the challenges of the campaign. Distant murmurs from France began to permeate the ranks. The political landscape in Paris was shifting, with each tremor signaling a potential change in the fate of the French Republic. These were trivial tales of political intrigue and whispers that spoke of a power vacuum and an emerging opportunity. Napoleon, while deeply entrenched in his Egyptian quest, was always astutely attuned to the more giant game of power in Europe. The campaign, for all its cultural and scientific aspirations, was also a bold statement of his strategic genius and leadership abilities. It was a calculated risk, an expedition that would either cement his status as a visionary or condemn him as a reckless adventurer. As the situation in France grew increasingly tumultuous, the gravity of these developments began to weigh on him. With a heavy heart, and perhaps a touch of regret, Napoleon decided to depart from Egypt, leaving behind a land where dreams had been both woven and unraveled. His aspirations for a French stronghold in the east and an alliance with powers like Tipu Sultan would remain unfulfilled. Yet, the stories of his triumphs against the Mamluks, his confrontations with the British, and his passion for Egyptian antiquity would be carried back to France, amplifying his growing legend. Upon his return, the tales of his exploits were deftly woven into a narrative that showcased him as a leader with unparalleled vision, courage, and intellect. The Egyptian episode, despite its mixed outcomes, was instrumental in this portrayal. It demonstrated his capacity to think beyond Europe, to imagine a global French empire that combined military prowess with a commitment to Enlightenment ideals. His enhanced reputation, combined with the unstable political situation, created the perfect storm. Within a short span, leveraging his popularity and the perceived need for strong leadership, Napoleon would orchestrate the Brumaire coup, eventually ascending to the position of first consul and, later, emperor of the French. In the vast mosaic of history, the Egyptian campaign, while a brief episode, played an outsized role. It was not just about battles or the discovery of ancient relics, it was about ambition, both personal and imperial. Through its intricate tapestry of military strategy, cultural exploration, and geopolitical chess, it spotlighted Napoleon's genius, setting the stage for his meteoric rise to the pinnacle of power. Dear viewer, as we navigate these intricate narratives, we pose a question: in the grand pursuit of enlightenment, where do we draw the line between benevolence and dominance? Dive into history's rich tapestry with us. Engage with your insights, share your perspectives, and remember to subscribe to Ages in Motion, where the past isn't just retold, it's relived. Until next time, keep the wheels of time turning.